Hey, this is Danielle from Black Business Boom and Black Owned Nashville, and we are live with Leigh. I am super excited to have Leigh from the Blogger Exchange joining our team of experts. She's going to be coming to us monthly, giving us some tips on marketing for our small businesses, and who doesn't need that? So I'm really excited. And this is coming from someone who has a really extensive background in marketing, both as a small business owner, as a blogger, and in corporate America. So she's going to be dropping some gems for us and talking to us today about how we can use influencers to get more exposure and grow our business. So let's welcome Leigh. How are you, Leigh?
I'm doing great, having a nice Thursday despite the rain, but I'm happy to be here with everyone.
Fantastic. Let's jump on in. Now, let's start. Tell us a little bit about your background. I gave a little snippet, but you really have an extensive background working in marketing. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'll start with the big stuff first. So
Mhm.
I used to work for General Mills. And so some of the iconic brands that you probably have in your pantry right now, Cheerios, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Nature Valley, Box Tops for Education, which everyone grew up with. I used to do their national marketing campaigns as well as their multicultural marketing campaigns. And then I moved over to Mars Wrigley. So all the gum and fun stuff and pet stuff, I worked for them as well. And now I currently work for a Fortune 150 retailer doing their marketing campaigns as well. And then, moving over to being in the small business world, I founded Blogger Exchange almost 5 years ago, which is crazy to think about, and work with a lot of small businesses here in Nashville, Tennessee, a lot of people in Memphis, and just in the southeastern region as well. And then I have my own business as a blogger. And so, what I do that's a little bit different when I work with small businesses, I bring my blogging background of like, how would I want to work with a business as a blogger? Because that's something I do. And then I also bring my corporate marketing experience, how to think big, even though you might have a limited budget. And then I also do try to, have basically the best of both worlds, that big corporate marketing mindset, and then still working with a finite small budget, but making the most out of it.
I love it. And that's what most of us need, right? Is to make the most of our budget, really, no matter what size your business is, but
Exactly.
especially as small businesses, we need to know how do we get the most bang for our buck, right? So I love that you're bringing that, but also that corporate background, because a lot of us are looking for corporate partners and things like that, and you can give us some tips on how we're going to be able to go out and do that. And so I've had just such great experiences with Blogger Exchange, everything from the annual events that you all do. But my very first engagement, I think, with you guys was you all did an event back in, I think, 2019. And you have makeup artists come and photographers come, and it was very affordable. And those were like the very first professional pictures I got as a business owner. Like, and I just love that you all put it all together and made it so easy for a business owner to come show up and get content for their business. Outside of events like that and your annual events that you do, how else does Blogger Exchange work with small business owners?
Yeah, and so we actually do have, some great small events coming up. One of the ways that, small businesses can work with us and get connected to bloggers is by helping us sponsor products for an event, whether it be if you are a whiskey company, you do specialized cookies, or you have gift bag items. That's a really great way to partner with us and get your product in the hands of influencers in Nashville. And then also, we have something called the BX Brand Partnerships Program, where we create custom influencer programs for small businesses. We say, what are your goals? We say, what kind of influences are you looking for? The demographic. We say, when do you want to run it? What are you trying to achieve? And we build the program, find the influencers for you, manage the influencers, get all the content, and then give you all the results at the end. Um,
Leigh, you ain't told me nothing about this.
I'm telling you now, and I'm telling everyone now. We launched this in 2020 during the pandemic because a lot of small businesses were just like, we don't know what to do. They were like, traditional marketing's kind of failing us right now, or it's really expensive. And they also were like, we don't know how to go and create content. So we were like, okay, what can we do? And that's how we came up with this program of, whether you just need really nice photos with real people in them, we can do a program for that. Whether you're like a brand new product and you want people to taste it, give their, authentic reviews on it, we have done that as well for small businesses. Or if you're really trying to sell product, we have bigger influencers that can help sell product as well. So yes, we love this program. We do have to have people apply to it because, it is sometimes frustrating and people don't even know where to start with influencers. And that's why we say, just tell us your goals, tell us your marketing plan. We'll do all the work for you. You just sit back, relax, review the content, and watch it go live.
I love this, and like I'm a new customer, so I'm really excited about that because
Yes.
I am the type of person. I of course know the value of content, know that as business owners we need it. We have to have a plan for it, but I don't want to do it, So,
Exactly.
and that's, a lot of us are like, I don't feel like taking all the pictures and I don't feel like going to all these locations or whatever it may be. And so having a partner that can facilitate that for us, I think is amazing. Now, as small business owners, when do you know that it's time for you to start working with influencers? Like how do you know that an influencer or a blogger may be a good option for you to grow your small business?
Yeah. So, one of the things that I try to teach people is letting them know. Can you still see me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I thought I lost you. One of the things I try to let people know is that, first of all, I classify influencers, bloggers, and content creators different ways. And because I classify them different ways, you can work with them at any time. Bloggers and content creators are really great when you're just getting started, need content, need awareness for your business, which most people that are getting off the ground, they really do. An influencer really is someone who's great at generating sales, getting clicks to your website. And so that's more for a kind of a little bit more mature business, and a business that's been around for a little bit longer and is really like, okay, people kind of know our brand, they kind of know our product. We don't really have to sell it too much. That's when an influencer is really there to kind of close and seal the deal. So it just really depends because you can use them in so many different ways, from creating an actual blog post to creating a video to creating an Instagram post. It just really depends on your goals. And once again, that's what we're here to help with, or what are you trying to achieve? And then we create a program about what you're trying to achieve.
I love it. This is extremely helpful. I mean, and I'm like in this world and I'm still learning a lot. So I know that the business owners that are tuned in are really learning a lot. And I know that some of us have had experiences in trying to work with influencers or, looking at Instagram and identifying people that we think may be influencers and good for our
Yeah.
brands and may not have had the best experience or the best outcome from those experiences. So can you give us, just tell us, should we really be using influencers, and if we're not going to go the route of working with Blogger Exchange, which I highly recommend, but if we're going to go out there and try to do it ourselves, how do we know who we truly should work with and who's going to be a good fit for our business?
Yeah, so great question. Sometimes just because someone has 5,000 or 10,000 or even 20,000, followers on Instagram or social media doesn't technically classify them as an influencer. You want to make sure that they are someone who is well versed, has worked with brands before, is professional, understands your business, is going to treat your business with care, understands the goals that you're trying to achieve, and then that's someone you want to work with. I think sometimes business owners might DM someone that they see that looks really pretty or that has a lot of followers, and they say, hey, let me send you some product, and nothing comes from it because they never had a real discussion. They never had an agreement in place, and they never really said what the purpose of them sending the product was. What did you want the influencer to do? And what did you want the outcome to be? So it's really more than just looking for pretty faces and people that have high follower counts. It's really making sure that they align with your brand goals. It's making sure that you are selecting someone who has affinity for your business. For instance, don't reach out to someone if you're a whiskey brand that is all about veganism and smoothies and probably doesn't drink. Same thing if you are an athleisure brand. Don't reach out to someone who says, I love never working out. That's something I never do. You want to make sure that, once again, they are going to naturally fit your product into their storytelling and into their audience as well. And that's another thing we look at, is like, who is their audience, and does their audience match up to who your target demographic is? Because essentially you want to know, is this audience going to be receptive to the product and to the messaging? And if they're not, you don't want to work with that person.
I absolutely agree. And I'll tell you, people look to me to be an influencer and look at me like an influencer. And I have folks like, let me send you this, let me send you that. And I don't even like creating content, so you also have to find someone who really does enjoy doing that, and it is something that they do. I've had people send me stuff and I'm like, oh damn, now I got to take a picture. Like, I don't feel like doing that, but to your point, but I may be drinking a black-owned whiskey brand and I love whiskey, so I'm going to post about it just because I'm a whiskey lover and I enjoy, really I am enjoying the whiskey. So I think that it really is so important to make sure you're finding someone who's truly aligned with your brand, and that this is what they do, and that there is a process for it, because I think sometimes that process or lack thereof is a dead giveaway that they're not really an influencer. They are just trying to make a few extra dollars right now. So
exactly. And I will tell you, like, some things just to look for on their profile are like, does this person have a website? Most influencers are going to have a personal blog. Does this person have like an email button on their profile? Does their profile, list as an influencer's with list of saying, style, travel, food blogger, those kind of things? Or once again, is it just someone who you're like, man, they have really pretty pictures, I want to send them something? Because that way you don't set yourself up for failure or disappointment. You basically have a process, a plan in place. They have a process and plan in place, and it works out for both of y'all.
I love it. Now, you all have some amazing workshops coming up, so I want to make sure we talk about those. Tell us what's coming up for Blogger Exchange.
Man, we got a lot coming up. I think the most important for the people that are watching, on Tuesday, March 1st, so next week, we have a small business workshop if you are wanting to learn about influencer marketing. And we are going to talk about if you want to do a product-based campaign, a gifted campaign, a paid campaign, if you want to boost media through your campaign. We're going to talk about everything from the very beginning of setting goals, to picking the influencers, to measuring, to content, to the results at the end. It's a great workshop. 2 people from your brand can attend. It's going to be online. You can watch it from anywhere. You will get materials after that basically are going to help you if you want to execute your own program. So highly, highly recommend that. And then we have some great social events coming up too, if you are interested in having your product be part of those gift bags, sponsor anything, have it showcased. And we also do have some events coming up where you can actually sell your products at those events. So a lot of ways for small businesses to get involved, but that number one that's going to help you is that small business workshop on the 1st.
I love it. How can folks get registered?
I have an Eventbrite link, and we will share that Eventbrite link, or you can go to bloggerexchange.com. We have an event calendar tab. Click on the link and it will take you right to it.
Fantastic. I am excited. I will be there next week because honestly, influencer marketing is is so important. It can really help to catapult your brand, and especially if you are someone who really doesn't want to be the face,
Yep.
doesn't want to create the content yourself. It's a great way to be able to grow your brand and get brand exposure on social media and off of social media. I went to the grand opening of a local EG and MC, and you guys
Yeah.
had bloggers all through that place. It
Yeah.
was like, and not only are they going to post the content online, they're going to tell friends,
Exactly.
about this new place to go and check out. So it's really just a way that you can grow your exposure overall as a small business owner. But many of us, even those of us that do marketing, it's not in our lane. So
Yeah.
I'll be coming to learn about influencer marketing, how I can implement it for Black Business Boom and Black owned Nashville. I'm super excited. Go to bloggerexchange.com, go to the calendar or events tab,
Yeah.
and or even if you go to Eventbrite and type
Yeah.
in Blogger Exchange, I did it myself. It came right up.
There we
And
go.
then I'll make sure I get that link dropped in the caption as well. So thank you so much, Leigh. This was extremely informative. I
Well,
really appreciate it.
I'm glad you had me. Glad you learned something. I'll definitely look forward to seeing you, everyone else watching on Tuesday. And
Yeah.
I'm Leigh Love in the group. You guys can always DM me, reach out if you have questions. Probably way too much. I love talking about influencer marketing. So get me while I'm hot, and I'm excited to talk about it. And I'll answer your DMs too if you guys have any.
Fantastic. I truly appreciate you. I am excited to have you on the team. You're going to be coming and giving us a lot of great information about marketing for small Black owned businesses. And Lord knows we need it. So
Yes.
I look forward to talking to you next month. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Have a
All right. Thanks for
wonderful